In this tutorial, we'll cover some basic setup and configuration for the RP management system. Start by clicking the Configuration tab. Next, let's view our system options. These system options determine how the RP management system works in certain scenarios. You'll probably want to enable the online portal for starters. If you're interested in online payments, online applications, online work requests, and their configuration, you may want to preview the user guide or the tutorial in those sections for more information before enabling them. When you've turned on everything that you want, click Save Info. Next, let's look at some of the RP preferences. We'll go into more detail on these in separate tutorials and in the user guide. First one you may want to consider is the Application section. Under Applications, there's the definition, the template preamble agreement and acknowledgement, and post-app instructions. If you enable online applications, you'll probably want to enable online payments too, so that your users can easily pay their application fees online. Next is Work Requests. Under Work Requests, you'll set up the definition, and then the template preamble and agreement. Next is the letter templates. There are letter templates for owner custom letters, tenant custom letters, vendor custom letters, and source custom letters. In the tutorial about inviting your owners to set up online, where owners have their own online portal, the owner custom letter for an invitation is discussed. It's similar for tenants and vendors. Next is default profile authorizations. This is also covered in that tutorial. Let's take a look at it now. Under default profile authorizations, you determine which options your owners, tenants, guests, associations, association members, vendors, and sources have access to online. Configuring these options will configure the defaults for all new profiles that you add or import. If you want to change all of your existing profiles, configure the options and then click Change All Existing Accounts. You can set up individual owners, tenants, and the like to have their own profile authorizations by editing their profile. Once you've got this set up the way you want, click Set Configuration. Next, let's take a quick look at logon intros. When your owners, tenants, vendors log on to their online portal, they'll see the logon intro. This is the information that you want them to see on the intro page when they log on. This could be a simple welcome message, or the monthly news, or important updates about your company, holiday hours, new employees, any information that you want delivered to anybody that logs on. Once you've got this the way you want it, click Save Info. It's immediately set for all online portal accounts. Next, let's take a look at statement and document notifications. Statement and document notifications are available for both owners and tenants. A statement notification is delivered to owners who opt into notification messages whenever you publish a statement. A document notification is published every time that you publish a document to an owner, as long as they've opted in for the email notifications. If you don't set these notifications, they're going to receive a default notification that simply tells them there's a new document available. If you set them, you can add a link to your website, other important information about uploaded documents, and the like. Next, let's take a look at System Preferences. In System Preferences, you can set up your IDs, fees, and account information. Under PayPal ID, you'll input the PayPal account ID assigned to your account to integrate PayPal with your Hero systems. Please read the user's guide or watch the tutorial on setting up PayPal before you proceed with online payment accounts. In your Promise Manager ID, you can enter an ID to limit the amount of information that Promise updates your control panel with. This is useful in cases where you have multiple offices in a single Promise database. If you don't think you need this, you probably don't. This only applies to about 5% of users. Convenience fees are also for the online payment system. You can indicate a convenience fee of a dollar amount or a percentage that applies to all payments processed through your online system. You can configure separate convenience fees for owners and tenants, for guests, and then for the standard system and the ACH or pre-approved system. The ACH pre-approval buffer is the amount that you want a tenant to approve over top of rent to cover things like late fees or maintenance copays. The maximum amount for the ACH pre-approval buffer is 10%. Applicant convenience fee applies to convenience fees for applications paid online. Most property managers don't charge a convenience fee for applications. The short ID is for the mobile media options. This is the texting ID that you will have on your yard signs and your vacancy reports that allow people to text in for information about your listings. Text inquiry credits is the number of inquiry credits you have on your account. The alert level is the number under which you want to be notified at. If you'd like to be notified when your credit amount drops below 100, for example, simply input that number. The text inquiry prefaces are the information that is going to be responded before the specific listing or company information in a text message in a response to the tenant. For more information on this, please see the tutorial or read the user's guide regarding mobile media options. The Craigslist region allows you to more quickly post to Craigslist by pre-configuring the region and subregion of your Craigslist listings. The Twitter account allows you to directly publish your listing statuses to Twitter. The Twitter account and the YouTube account are entered in the format account name, account password. You won't be able to see what you're typing because it's displayed as asterisks or dots. You may want to enter this information into a text editor, like Notepad, so that you can see what you're typing and then paste it into the control panel. Your YouTube account is the similar format, and that enables the direct integration of your listing videos to YouTube. Transitional Buyer account allows you to put in your account information for participation in the Transitional Buyer program. The default city is useful if you have a city where most of your listings are that's different from the city where your office is located. It's just a little bit of a shortcut when you're adding new listings. Once you're done with these settings, click Save Info. Before we go too far, we may want to set up some test accounts so that we can see the system from the perspective of an owner, tenant, or vendor. Click RP Management, Tenants, Add Tenant, and add yourself as a tenant. Select the authorizations that you want applied. Save the tenant account, and do the same for RP Management Owners and Vendors. Then follow the instructions in the guide or the video tutorial for inviting your owners to set up an account online and set up individual portal access accounts for that tenant, owner, and vendor. Log on to them and you'll be able to see exactly what your clients see when they're using the system online. To get the whole picture, you want to dig into Office, boards, work orders, documents, applications, payments, and do some tests with each of those. For example, log on to your tenant account that you created in the previous step, submit a work request, view that work request, convert it into a work order, assign it to a vendor, then log off and log on as the vendor to see how they'd see the work order. Go to Documents and add a document for your owners, tenants, and vendors, and see what they'll see. Go to one of your listings and submit an application. Then you can see how the application looks in your system. You'll understand it and be able to explain it better to tenants. Set up a small rent amount and try making a sample payment. For more information on each of these sections, read the user's guide or watch the tutorials that cover the configuration and use of each of these separate sections of the system.